We have bridges that are falling down, Trump said in an interview with Fox Business Network, in which he pledged to spend twice as much repairing infrastructure as the $275 billion proposed by his rival Hillary Clinton. We have many, many bridges that are in danger of falling. But the great debate over public versus private infrastructure was not to be, because smack in the middle of Infrastructure Week, Vol. 1, fired FBI Director James Comey testified about his ouster before the U.S. Senate Committee on Intelligence. 9 subsequent iterations of Infrastructure Week have now come and gone, each derailed by the purported plan's lack of specificity and the continued distraction of the investigations into the Trump campaign's ties to Russia in the 2016 election. Yet, as we saw this week, Infrastructure Week continues to play a vital symbolic role in Washington. But its ultimate meaning has less to do with fulfilling the hopeful promise of a slogan on a red hat, and solving a problem Trump and Clinton were right to identify, than with affording the president another opportunity to distract the nation from his own mounting troubles. On Monday, a U.S. District Judge Amit Mehta sided with Democrats in the House, ruling that Trump's accounting firm must comply with a subpoena and hand over the president's financial records. It is simply not fathomable that a constitution that grants Congress the power to remove a president for reasons including criminal behavior would deny Congress the power to investigate him for unlawful conduct, past or present, even without formally opening an impeachment inquiry, Mehta wrote. After meeting with fellow House members on the question of whether to begin impeachment proceedings for Trump, Pelosi said Democrats believe that the President of the United States is engaged in a cover-up. Pelosi's words, and the court defeats that accompanied them, set the stage for a very special Infrastructure Week, or, rather, infrastructure moment. Trump entered the White House Cabinet Room for a scheduled meeting with top Democrats having no intention of fleshing out the now $2 trillion fairy tale about rebuilding the country's broken transportation framework. Instead, he gave Pelosi and Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer, DNY, a choice: drop the investigations or make America great again. Leaving the room, Trump headed out to the Rose Garden, where his podium was plastered with Mueller investigation talking points, and vented his frustration. "I don't do cover UPS. You people know that probably better than anybody," the president told reporters. A day later, Pelosi reprised her remarks, salting the president's wounds a bit more with the suggestion that Trump's mental infrastructure is in need of attention. With the back and forth dominating cable news screens, it was, once again, easy to forget about Infrastructure Week or the other problems facing the nation. But at a Thursday afternoon event in the White House, Trump himself reminded Americans that he had pushed the U.S. into a trade war with China by placing tariffs on a wide range of Chinese goods. With retaliatory tariffs wreaking havoc on U.S. farmers, Trump, flanked by farmers and ranchers wearing cowboy hats, announced a $19 billion in government handouts to agriculture, on top of $12 billion last year. But that focus, too, proved short-lived, and Trump soon turned to something he considered more important, denying that he had engaged in what Pelosi called a temper tantrum in terminating Infrastructure Week after a meeting that lasted around 3 minutes. She said, "I walked into the room right next door yesterday and walked in and started screaming and yelling," Trump told reporters. Returning to his views on the subject of trade, Trump assured the reporters that all was going well under his wise and calm guidance. "I'm an extremely stable genius," he said. How much had Pelosi gotten under Trump's skin? The president later shared a Fox News mashup video of the House Speaker hesitating and stammering while answering questions earlier in the week, edited into a 30-second clip to make her look incoherent. "I think a number of people," Trump said. "They have unsuccessfully tried to take down the wrong person. If you look at Comey, if you look at McCabe, if you look at probably people higher than that, if you look at Strzok, if you look at his lover, Lisa Page, his wonderful lover." Fittingly, it was the perfect Infrastructure Week setup for another presidential proclamation. Today, at the request and recommendation of the Attorney General of the United States, President Donald J. Trump directed the intelligence community to quickly and fully cooperate with the Attorney General's investigation into surveillance activities during the 2016 presidential election, White House Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders said in a statement released Thursday night. The Attorney General has also been delegated full and complete authority to declassify information pertaining to this investigation, in accordance with the long-established standards for handling classified information. Today's action will help ensure that all Americans learn the truth about the events that occurred, and the actions that were taken, during the last presidential election, and will restore confidence in our public institutions.